welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from a dark and cloudy Westlake Village, California, where we are getting a bit of rain this morning, but that's nice. So time to discuss this crazy crypto crash, and I should title this video Finding Opportunity in Volatility. And I hope everybody is, okay out there emotionally, spiritually, because I know some people were feeling hurt yesterday, and that's okay. We're going to go through everything that caused the crash and how I'm looking at the next few weeks and months. And as always, I'll be giving you my strategies and sharing how I plan to navigate this crazy market. And I understand, some people are bummed out right now. And well, I've just been through this so many times before that I can really relate to the people going through it. But that's why I have my own personal trading strategy. And that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you right now if you're down. But in fact, my first major loss was the reason I started to learn about technical analysis and the markets, get a deeper understanding of the underlying market dynamics. And I thought, I'm never going to let this happen again. So I dove in, and I did want to offer up, a bit of hopium, or, hope, as some would call it. And this is it. The truth is that it's unavoidable in my mind. It's where we're going with cryptocurrency, right? Where we're going with the metaverse, and the fact that we're going to stop using this outdated technology called leaving my money at the bank for 0.1% interest while my bank goes and gambles with my money. And when the bank loses the money, you know what happens? They get bailed out, right? And where do they get the money? You know the answer to this. Where do they get the money? You know the answer to this, right? They print it out of thin air, but they take it from the people who saved, like me and you, who paid our taxes, by devaluing our dollar, right? So that's the old technology. Cryptocurrency is the new technology. A layer on the internet, it's called Web3. All things are going to be tokenized, just like all things came onto the internet, right? Like your business cannot survive without the internet. Your kids can't go to school. Your bank shuts down. Right? The reality is, it's unavoidable in my mind. It's like gravity, right? The sky is blue. You cannot fly without a plane, right? Just like you can't avoid the fact that crypto is inevitable. So if you believe those things and you hold those things to be self-evident like I do, then these types of corrections are really much easier to stomach, right? Because you know that positivity is coming in the future, right around the corner. Bitcoin is anti-fragile. So when the world around us gets crazy, that's when Bitcoin shines the brightest. And, no matter what, I believe positivity is coming in the future for cryptocurrency. And when I talk about positivity, I'm talking about the massive gains, life-changing wealth in the future for the people that learn how to navigate this market. So let's talk about really what we've been talking about over the past couple of days. And really it was the taper talk, right? Fed Chair Powell got on the news, says we're going to taper sooner than later. We had the Omicron virus, supply chain disruptions, and we really had a over leveraged washout, right? So open interest was at 15 billion. It's now at 10 billion. So we washed out all the leverage there. And then I think you probably have some hedge funds taking profits at the end of the year. They want to show profits, so they sell and probably buy back at a little bit lower of a price. What we might see is something very similar to March in 2020, when everybody thought all the assets were going to fall to zero and the market crashed. What happened? The government intervened. They printed a whole bunch of money, and then we saw Bitcoin run from $4,000 to $60,000. So if we start repeating this, right, and we get some kind of crazy crash scenario in the stock market, then I think the government is going to step in and do the same thing they always do and print more money and The government has basically already said, right, they're not going to let collateralized assets go down, right? What are those? Those are stocks and those are real estate. They won't let it go down or the whole system crumbles. And so when he talks about tapering and raising interest rates and cutting spending, it would kill the middle class, right? This isn't the 80s. We're not going to let the government just raise rates, slap middle America for a decade. People won't stand for that. So plus, with the internet and the iPhone and everything just so accessible, people are going to say, forget the bank. I'll save my money in crypto. Essentially, when the market crashes and the government has essentially failed, I think people will choose the easy way out, right? So last week, we were bullish on Bitcoin, but, the Fed came out and dropped a bomb on the market. So things change in a day, and that's why we put out these videos. And I recommend you check in for updates, not only for Bitcoin's price action, but some altcoins that we've been talking about over the past few months, like Gala and Sand, Avalanche, Mana, Solana. We've covered them all on our channel. They've produced 5-10x gains over the past few months. Pretty darn impressive. And with those kinds of moves, you have to be prepared for some serious downside risk. Again, don't invest more than you can afford to lose completely. It's not financial advice. Some things, I think right now they could go on fire sale as kind of Bitcoin plays out this little bounce and then probably retest the lows. So, if you can buy kind of in the depths in the bear market, some of the metaverse gaming projects, I think there could be some life-changing wealth coming down the road. But let's really just touch on Bitcoin, which is in the background here, and the general market, which says, the general market, which says basically when Bitcoin is going up, right, most strong altcoins are going to be going up. When Bitcoin is going down, most altcoins go down, but the strong ones like Ethereum don't go down as much. And, as you can see here, Bitcoin just ran from 30,000 to 69,000 over the last 3 months. That was up over 100%. We're currently sitting at about 51,000, down almost 30% from the highs. But here's kind of what's really been going on, in the background, right? Again, a leverage washout, hedge funds taking profits. But we just had, Gary Gensler, the SEC chairman, said that they're not going to ban Bitcoin, right? Yet the SEC approved the first ever Bitcoin futures ETF. It's already live on the New York Stock Exchange. That went in October. All the news is still macro bullish for Bitcoin. And our view is as long as Bitcoin holds 40,000 on a weekly time frame, right, which is going to be this level right here, we're looking for Bitcoin to reach upwards towards 100,000 first quarter of next year. And that's more than double from where we're at today. And why? It's not because of all the hype, right? It's because of a technical reason. We have a massive ascending triangle here. And then we draw that out is going to be something like this. And the way these are, 70% hit rate, which means they break to the upside 70% of the time. And the measure move on this, the way you go ahead and measure that is from the middle. And typically these ascending triangles like to break at about 75%. And where would that be? Somewhere around March next year. And the technical target on this move here puts Bitcoin at, call it 87,000. If we want to get further confluence here, we could use a little fib retracement wick to wick there. And yep, so that's bringing us above the 618. So, or sorry, yeah, that's the 1618. And yeah, that would be the measure move. And I do believe if we break that $75,000 target we've been talking about over the past few weeks, that probably leads to Bitcoin reaching, around 100,000 over the next few weeks after that. Again, we have invalidation points. So if Bitcoin does want to kind of break this thing to the downside, I mean, it could get pretty nasty. And that would be fire sale Bitcoin at 25,000, right? So that's why it's important to keep an eye on the price. Bitcoin's an 80 to 100% volatile asset. And why am I macro bullish still? Well, this is a weekly time frame, one of the most powerful time frames, and we are in an uptrend. So what's an uptrend? You got higher highs and then you got higher lows. So there's your first higher high, higher low, higher high. Could this be our higher low? I'm not sure, but I do think, Bitcoin could very well, do something like this, and then, plays out the little bounce here up to 53,000 and then comes back down and, maybe even touches down to 40 and, something like that. Very, very possible. I do think it's going to take some time to work itself out down here for a while, maybe over the next 30 days. And then, we get some kind of resolution at that point. And that's, if the stock market, especially the NASDAQ, we're getting a big rebound on the stock market today. Almost a reversal. If you look on a 4-hour, we put in one higher low and a higher high and took out that resistance point. So I'm looking for this almost to come all the way back up. This is really starting to move. So that's good on NASDAQ. Same thing on the S&P, picking it up. A couple of, outstanding coins, I wouldn't say outstanding, but altcoins that are outperforming the market right now. You've got MANIC, which, completely reversed its trend, had a daily closure above the topside trailing band on new highs, so expanding volatility. I mean, this thing bounced almost 50% yesterday in one day, and now we're in a blue sky breakout. You got Luna, which is, similarly almost recovered to its all-time highs on a daily, and we kind of have a breakout on the 4-hour right here. And Sand took a bit of a beating here, quite a beating. I mean, came all the way down to $4. If you could have bought that dip, that was a nice little move there. But I believe Sand, along with Mana, as long as Bitcoin, and here's what you want to look out for, is Bitcoin putting in a lower high around 52 or 53,000. If that happens and Bitcoin reverses, well, I imagine a lot of altcoins are going to get slacked alongside of that. So what else did I want to talk about today? Today I think if you enjoyed it today, drop us a like or a comment. We'll be bringing you some more fun crypto updates and TA in the future. Take care. Have a great day.